What's the biggest red flag when meeting new people? One of my bosses once told me that whenever you start a new job position usually the first person who tries really hard to be your friend is the problem child of the office. They'll usually start telling you of people to avoid as well. I've found this very useful. They don't listen to what you say and respond accordingly, they only wait for you to stop talking so they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. I've seen a lot of answers along the lines of when they say negative things about others. Which I agree with, by the way, but for me a huge red flag is when someone can't let someone else receive praise or be the center of attention. I've met people in the past who have shown small signs of jealousy when I've praised mutual friends, siblings, strangers, etc. And in each case it was indicative of bigger jealousy and self-esteem issues that led to some messed up stuff. When you mention something you enjoy and they immediately put it down, I enjoy going on photography walks around cities. That sounds really okay, well kindly get lost Mrs. Stranger. Belittling they're so in front of people but insisting it's a joke every time. Sadly in this situation I used to be the belittled, so deleted. Usually when people speak of having a lot of people in their life that somehow turned on them and now they don't speak anymore. And #X200B, I remember one old coworker would become super fast friends with someone, then within weeks, yeah we don't really talk anymore, once, except, hell even twice, but when it's 4 to 5 times over. Guess what, it's not everyone else. Subtle signs that they aren't remotely interested in you, and the only way you two are together is maybe because an obligation, favor. People change their tune often when they have to conceal their feelings of disdain for someone. When you barely know them and they act like your best friend. Then later ask to borrow money. When they only talk about themselves. Removed. They don't really listen to you or pay attention to what you're talking about, but expect you to be totally engaged with whatever they say and act put out if you aren't. When they're judgmental and critical of others, but never of themselves. When they start talking about the tons of money I am going to be making with their new business venture in selling knives door to door. Everyone here talking about slightly negative people, but asked for the biggest red flag, so I'm gonna go with having a swastika scar on their forehead. If they can't take no for an answer. Asking me to PM them my ankle. Massive red flag. Hi, my name is _______, and I'm in but. Literally how the shop manager introduced himself to everyone. Like it's an excuse. Let's be honest. We often see these red flags but deliberately push on to form a relationship. If the relationship goes bust, we critique ourselves for not heeding the warning signs. This is an unjust self-criticism. People think I'm a female doggy, but I'm really just blunt and tell the truth. They can't handle that. Nah, chances are you're just a female doggy. I have only ever met 2 men, that I'm aware of, who lied to me about their ages when we met. Both of these men turned out to be extremely unpleasant and abusive people. I dated one of them and knew the GF of the other one. I think people who lie easily even over trivial things tend to have very complex psychological problems and are best steered clear of. How they treat waiters, waitress, cashiers, janitors, bus drivers and everyone in the service industry. A coworker friend of mine left a bunch of trash at the cinema after we finished watching a movie. I angrily picked up his trash, chased him and told him to throw it away at the bin 3 meters outside of the cinema. And he replied, "Dude, why are you so Japanese? I did graduated from Japan, I'm just letting the janitors doing their job." No dude, it's not being Japanese, it's being having manners. Couldn't look at him the same way again ever since. I have an unusual name. I don't mind when people ask me to repeat it, or even when they awkwardly ask about its origin. Dad is an immigrant, but when they're obnoxious about it, that's usually a good indication that they are stupid, and but. When they try to one-up you in everything you say. More than 2 tattoo teardrops. Reading through these comments made me realize I'm in but. Edit, it's like, I've been told I'm in but by my very best friends constantly at one point of time and I just shrugged it off thinking I'm way too charismatic for them to handle. When they monopolize a conversation, when they steer the conversation so that you end up being shown a phone full of photos, when they engage in a whole monologue about their health or relationship issues, when they brag a lot if not about themselves then their family members. Too much information too quickly. People who divulge too much about themselves from the offset generally have poor boundary issues. I speak from experience. I am a recovering poor boundary haver. When they're instantly rude to e.g. waiters or strangers in general. When the first thing they tell you about themselves is all the hardship and unfairness in their lives. Edit. Wow. First silver. Thanks all. If you won't let you get 2 words in before interrupting anything you say. People that are not considerate with your time. Being 5 minutes late every so often isn't a big deal. But when people are consistently 20 minutes late and make people wait, say for a dinner. If they nitpick your appearance or do a give and take. I just talked to a girl from a dating app who did that, and after I called her out for being very rude, she doubled down. It's a red flag for emotional abuse emo. You immediately start hearing from them about all the time other people have hurt them, betrayed them, or otherwise been butts to them. If everyone you encounter is an butt, chances are, you're the butt. They only have negative things to say about others. You know what they say about if everyone you meet is an butt. All they talk about is themselves and don't ask a single thing about you. I get the feeling that they just want to only talk about themselves, don't care who it's to and don't really care about the person they're speaking to. If they are unaware of people around them in a social sense. Like they don't thank service staff or stand in the middle of crowded walkways and not move out of the way of others. Congratulations, you have made friends with a toddler. This is not the biggest of red flags. Just ones that have recently pissed me off. I'm an alpha type, aka I'm a self-centered butthole who does know how or won't learn to behave in public. When they bring up topics out of nowhere just so they can spout their opinions and not actually have a conversation. It's very telling about their personality. When they have no problem dishing about others, especially friends, in a hateful way. Not only do I not want to hear what you have to say, but now I don't trust you. When they shake your hand way to fluffing hard. Like WTF you psycho. I still remember you Ben you whack job. You remind me of a guy I used to date. If you have to invite them before they'll enter your house, if they avoid direct sunlight, and the biggest of all, no reflection in a mirror. They try to become close friends with you immediately when you've hardly known each other at all. They expect you to like them right away and don't seem to give you time to get to know them. I'm starting a communist revolution, to me that's a big red flag. Grabs boob. Sorry, I have no filter. Oh, so you're an butt? No thanks. Edit. Fluff. I gotta stop commenting on askreddit posts and then forgetting about it. I log back into y'all blowing up my inbox and have a mini heart attack. Everyone has bad traits and good traits. Please nobody read this Reddit thread and start labeling your friends as butts, cutting people out for having these traits, get an ego boner for not doing some of these things. For every bad trait you see in a good friend you'll see like 10 good traits. For every good trait you see in a bad friend you'll see like 10 bad traits. And don't forget that you can have flaws as well. Edit. And as Pepporpots pointed out, this goes the other way too. Don't be too critical on yourself. I can assure you that anyone could name a myriad of good traits for every possible red flag that you might have. When they volunteer information like, I don't like to hit women, or I don't usually drink that much. Okay, sure. If they don't have any empathy at all. When they just can't stop using their phone for even 5 minutes to actually have a conversation. I usually test my friends to see if they're worthy of my friendship. Former friend. She told my GF she was testing her one day and now she's super confused as to why it didn't go over so well. Love bombing is one. When they constantly put down other people's opinions even in done in a nice way and only their way of thinking is right. They always go, yeah but. Or actually I think. Quote. A few red flags for me are, 1. They flake or cancel plans at the last minute constantly without reason. 2. They rant about their personal problems and don't talk to you at all about common interests. 3. They never have money on them but ask you to take them around to places. A people user. 4. They start drama such as fights with you or others. Toxic. 5. When emergency situations happen, they're nowhere to be found or heard from. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Such a fluffing narcissist thing to say. Their word choice. People who refer to women as female doggies, men as slongs, or anyone by a derogatory term pertaining to them. If we're already friends and they use it jokingly, not meaningfully, that's different. But people complaining about my female doggy of an ex are almost always people I don't want to hang out with.